So today we're going to be doing, let me bring this closer. So today we're going to be reviewing .NET. Well, before we do any .NET stuff, we're going to do an entire practical course of C#. So I think I'll cover until chapter 13 of this book. Yeah, chapter 13 today. So let's get started. So first thing, we just create new solution text section. We're gonna make an empty one. Yeah, we're gonna just make an empty one, I think. Interesting. I'll call it C# course. Create that, and then perfect. Absolutely nothing in here. So we're gonna add directory. Alright, let's start with chapter 1. Let's start with variables. So some stuff I'm gonna probably just say like, please look up on your own, like comments and things like that, but you know, just variables. Yeah, alright. Public class variable names, yeah, alright, perfect. So a variable is a named location in your memory for storing data. Okay. Variables have a type, a name, and a value content. The variables are declared, created, and then assigning values to variables is done with assignment operator. And give your variables good names for readability. So that's, by the way, that's how you do comments, if you're interested in that. So, you know, there's, I guess before we go into variables, there's types. So C# is a strongly typed language. What does that mean? That means that there are certain like types a variable can be and what the program expects it from. If the type doesn't match what the program expects, then it will break. So Okay, let's talk about declaring a variable. So you could do like var or const username equals hi. And since it's a strongly typed language, we gotta add like, you know, what it is. So this would be, so this is a string, okay? And then we could do const int password if you only want like a integer related password, right? And obviously int is a number, so string is a, I think there's also char. Maybe just like, yeah, so I don't know why it keeps going to private, but it really wants a private char. So public and private like basically means like, if public will mean that the entire program can see this class variable and access whatever's inside. Private typically means that it's going to be scoped. That means it is scoped locally, essentially. And you'll understand more as we're covering all this. And then we could, if you want it to be assignable again, right, there's a couple of things we can do. Like const means it is constant, meaning not changing. But if we do like int num equals 10, well, you could technically now come down here and you could do, oh, public string. Sorry, just give me a second. Okay, public void teaching method. Dang, that should be pretty. Also, things are not, if you're coming from like JavaScript or something, things are not that easy in C#, essentially. Like you'll notice that it will have a problem with everything. That's what I did. Oh. What do you mean? Sorry. Char means a single character, but I'm trying to figure out, like, why. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. Public. Oh, you know what? Should probably do like. No. So whenever you see these errors, they typically your program will not compile essentially. But I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong here. And I don't think we have var and C#. I think that's only JavaScript. Does it have to be capital or something? Is that what it is? No? I don't think so. Dude, do I have to like... Let's check. So here also you could use any AI you want, really. I wasn't trying to do that, it was just, yeah. That was what the problem was. Okay, so when you declare something like this is temporary. Reassignable declaration. Basically, you go num equals 20, and then if you do like console.num, you will get 20. Then you can come over here and we can actually write using C# course variables. Okay, so basically you have to call this file as well. Yep. And then we can no you want to make sure there's no errors, and we're gonna look at the terminal. Yeah, see? 20. Did you see that? So it's a reassignable variable essentially. Same thing with string, like if you just wrote like string name Josh, and Josh, sorry, name equals John, you'll get the same thing here. See? Okay, now we can continue. So that was, there's much more. There's like char, string, bool, var. If you don't want to put in a type, you can make it kind of like, you know, let's see, var name. John and John. See? So that's a way of declaring without, if you don't want to like declare their type, but it's not recommended. Always declare type. They use const mostly, unless you want the variable to be reassigned. Sometimes in making applications, you want variables to be reassigned and things like that, but you know, there's many different types of integers, and they have different values and stuff like that. So let's do that real quick. So other size void integer. So you have your classic integer, right? You have like byte, which is actually a single byte, which allows from 0, so no negatives, from 0 to 255. short allows negatives 328,768. I don't know why it's so random like this, but it's like that. So range my apologies. So negative to 327.67. And this takes up like 2 bytes. A byte takes up 1 byte of memory. These are all memory allocations. You got like okay, then we got, so when we talked about int, whatever, and yeah, this allocates 4 bytes of memory. Why is this important? If you want to build something that lands on the moon, you want it to take as much least amount of memory as possible. So this goes from like negative 2147 648 to the same number but positive, I think. Yeah. I don't know why I did that. It's okay. Doesn't matter. And there's more that are really not used that often, because why would you? Why would you use anything other than, like, you know, if you wanted, I guess if you wanted like to be able to use negative numbers, I don't know, let's do minus 128. So basically, yeah, I guess if you wanted to use a byte and you know your number is going to be between, like, instead of having a range until 255, you decided that you needed this. There's also a U short. Very nice. So U short is from 0 to 65,535. This is also 2 bytes of memory. U int. Don't use this. Boo boo? What are you doing? Did she wake up? Did she wake up? Oh, we never did long, did we? Long. which is 8 bytes of memory. Is going to be, it's a lot. Boo boo. Okay, and that's that. Apparently, if you do this, you'll get that. This type is bool type for return. Then we're going to talk about public words that avoid passes. But if we wanted, so we could do like const If we wanted to convert. This is correct. Yeah, if we wanted to convert those. Okay. This should then give us interesting. See this? Interesting. Plus the AI. Okay, do string interpolation. Okay, basically you can convert from an integer to a string. You could also like a string number equals let's see if we can convert those. AIs are so stupid. Absolutely the dumbest creation on this planet. I guess there's two ways of converting. You use the specific convert. Oh my god. So there's two ways here. I don't know why that even exists, but I guess this exists. Alright. You could do to char if it's a single character. Oh my god, that's so useless. Like literally useless. Yeah. Let me just do this real quick. if you wanted to know. I don't think this is useful, really. Next is math. So next is math, then I don't know, if statement, while loops, for loops, each loops, and the basics will be done. So I mean, we could continue here. Public, static, void, not void, I guess. And then, so that's addition. And then, I mean, we got subtraction. Okay, I don't know why he wants to go into multiplication, but multiplication. So subtraction, multiplication, division. This is modulo, so basically remainder. I actually really don't even remember what this will give. Curious about this. I think this is gonna do 1/2. What's the remainder of 1/2? I have no idea. Let's check. I'm sorry, I'm bad with remainders. I feel like I'm in Vim right now, but I'm not. I should download the Vim thing. Let's see. -3, -1, 2, 0. Okay, what is this? Hold on, 0? One divided by 2 is not 0. It's a half. The frig. Oh, we should have done double, float, or decimal. So let's do it. H equals get a remainder of 1. Freak? 1 divided by 2 is not 0. Oh, these are integers. So it will just give you the integer value. That's what it is. Oh my god. Okay. It's okay. Let's do double. Right there. So double floats and decimal basically will get you there. Alright. I think that's a pretty basic overview. Of the math. Do not divide by 0. It will break the earth. There is squares and other stuff too. And there's trigonometric functions. There's min and max, which is actually kind of important. Look at that memory usage. Shit program. The console read key method does not wait for a user to push enter before completing. It only waits for a single key press. If you do something like press indicators to continue, you can use console read key. The code has, if there's a type letter, will show up the screen. There's no somewhere around this. But there's a version of read key method that overloads. So one version above has no inputs. So type true indicates whether text must be intercepted. So press indicators read. Okay. I'm pretty tired, guys, so I'm pretending like anyone's here, but no one's here. We will continue this tomorrow. I mean, we're pretty close to finishing. Just gotta do if statements, for loops, switch statement that no one uses. That's pretty much the language, you know. But like, we gotta talk about like recursion, calling a method. Well, we already know how to call a method. Memory management. Object-oriented. I mean, there's a lot here. Tuples. Struts. Right. Managing a larger program, lambda extract. Yeah. Alright. We'll be done in a few days, basically. Take care, guys.